I
Hey everybody, welcome back. HSC podcast, Big Box Steve, Big Smooth, and Fresh Wes. And it's March Madness time. We've been talking the tournament the last couple weeks. It's down to the Final Four. It's pretty exciting at this point. Just in general, I was just thinking about this. How exciting is March Madness as a sporting event compared to the others, right? Is you got the Super Bowls, the MLB playoffs, the basketball playoffs. Like, where does March Madness rank for you as a whole? Not necessarily this one, but in general.
Well, for me, it comes down to it's as a whole, it's hard because first few days is amazing because you have games from like 9 o'clock to like 9 o'clock. Then this like past weekend, you have, 4 games on one night, 4 games on another, but they put 2 games at the same time. It's
Yeah,
like,
that's
okay, I'm trying to watch Nebraska game here. Oh, wait, no, I got to switch over to this one. It's like, really? You can't space these out at all?
so. Is it just a scheduling thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of frustrating. Like the first few weeks, it's awesome because, I can get up, turn on the TV or my phone or whatever, watch games all day. But then now it's like at the end of March Madness, it's like, oh, I have to wait till 5 o'clock. And then you have to cram in 4 games at 5 o'clock on.
Yeah, there's some dedicated time to watching. I agree with that. What's your feeling on that, Wes?
yeah, I mean the first weekend, they don't have a choice. They have to, it's you there's so many games, you're just going to have to flip back and forth. But you start getting to the 32 teams, it seems like they they only play a few games in the morning and they bunch them up at the end, which I don't understand that, you know. It's like so you have multiple games on. You're just kind of staggered in a sense. But yeah, the first 2 days are my favorite.
Does that affect the overall, value of the tournament as a whole? Because when I think of March Madness, there are definitely times where I don't like waiting the week either. Right? We're waiting right now. It's like I really want to watch these games, and I'm waiting and waiting for them. So that's a tough part. But tournament wise, this is one of my favorite times of year to watch sports in general, because of March Madness, because of this tournament. I look forward to it every year, and it's not to play in brackets to do things like that, just because it's fun to watch. And it's almost predictable to me that something cool is going to happen in the tournament. And this year it's happening again. And it happened to be a couple number ones like losing on whims. So you just know something's coming, and that's what makes it cool for me.
Yeah, that is great, but that's the problem. So I'm watching, was it Nebraska, Iowa?
Yeah.
And then the other game, what was the other game? Trying to remember
That we're
now.
playing simultaneously.
Yeah.
It was Houston and no. Was it Houston, Illinois?
No, it was one, I think one started before because I think the Nebraska Iowa started before but ended after. But they both were like in the last, I think it was Purdue, because they were both coming down to the end. Wait, was it?
Well, probably not super important anyway. What's the
It was
the
Texas Purdue.
oh, okay, yes.
And so it was in both the games in the last few minutes were close. But then it's like, okay, how am I going to watch both these games? And people are going to say, oh, just picture and picture it. But I want to hear the commentary for both games too.
That important. Can't check the
I just want to
score.
concentrate on one game.
Yeah.
It's like you had 4 games that day. You had all day, but you put them all at the end.
Why would they do that? There's got to be a reasoning, right? Is it about ratings? Is it about prime TV time?
Yeah, I think they are, of course, they're it's for East Coast times because you know people are going to watch more, and well, also West Coast too. I mean, it's like people are gonna they do stuff on a Saturday, family, and around 4 o'clock, I guess, then more people might be, you know, because families they do stuff Saturday mornings and early afternoons. It's like, you know, hey, let's get all our stuff done and then we'll watch basketball. That's kind of the idea, I think.
It's like
It's
Leave It
not
to
like
Beaver.
yeah.
That's what's going on out here. There's a bunch of families only between these certain hours. They're going to church on these hours, so you can't play games at Sunday morning.
You could watch on your phone, I guess, like Derek does. Who knows?
So yeah, I mean, again, all that aside, I gotta still say it's really exciting here coming into the Final Four, right? Because this is for me where the tournament gets good because these you got 3 games left, and it's these two play, then they play each other, and it's only a day apart. And so once we get to that game, they make us wait long enough,
Yeah.
build it up in your system, and then you get this final weekend, which is really exciting in March Madness. I think it's a great tournament. And this year, a lot of the big teams won, and we expected a lot of teams of the high seeds to win, but there were those two now too that you're just like, wow, amazing how those finished. You'd really expect Florida and Duke to be in this Final Four.
Well, and then, well, with Duke, 2 years in a row, they collapsed.
Yeah, that was brutal. That game, you saw it coming, and that's one of those storms, that you can't get out of in as a team. And even to the last play, right? The last turnover. And I've seen people make arguments of oh, he should have tried to pass it or whatever.
Just
And
hold
there's
on
a
to the
lot of
ball.
different things you could armchair quarterback that he could have done, right? Um, Regardless, I think it was another time where it was either bad coaching or some kind of miscommunication where it should have just been get the ball in, waste a couple seconds, but take the foul and let's win this at the free throw line.
Well, and it was what, Caden Boozer, right?
I mean, anybody, whoever gets the
Yeah, but
ball.
Caden Boozer is a great free throw shooter, so he
Yeah,
should have just held on to the ball.
yeah,
He was trying to make a play where I throw it ahead and it'll be a dunk.
yeah, just to waste time, get it over their heads, really.
Or I mean, I yeah, Boozer. I mean, should know better, but Shire should be communicating that with him. Like, hey, take the foul. Don't take a chance. Don't try to make a spectacular play. There's not a lot of time. Or in a possession, it's like it's how many fouls, you know, you're in the penalty. I just think the comeback is what's really amazing. Is Duke had control of that first half, and Dan Hurley, he's tough. Like they got physical in the second half. They got smart because I think that's what you do with Duke. I mean, they might have a bunch of McDonald's All American, but these are younger kids, and they got physical with them and rattled Boozer. Boozer looked out of sorts, down low. He wasn't making his shots in the second half. You got to credit Connecticut for just sticking with it. Hurley's nasty. In the locker room at halftime, he's like, dude, come on, guys. We're getting beat this bad. Let's just get in their face. You know, they might have better players, but that doesn't always win games. So credit to Connecticut, I'd say.
Yeah. What do you think of this stat? I don't know, I may not have the exact stat, but either under Hurley or in a certain period of time, Connecticut hasn't lost a game once they got to the Sweet 16 recently. So who's to say Connecticut doesn't go win it again? They haven't lost yet.
Yeah, it's like I think it was around the Sweet 16. I was like, am I really going to eat this Yukon thing? I was going to pick them to go to the Final Four, but I was like, no, they're not that good. And it's like, man,
They apparently are
it
that good.
yeah, it's like so.
All right, well then, Wes, give us your opinion here on Illinois UConn.
Well, Illinois, it's they're a different type of team. Their approach to recruiting is to go overseas. They got six guys that are from Europe, and so I think it's be really interesting to see. I mean, they kind of came in under the radar, so it's like people don't know a lot about them. I just think it's an interesting matchup between you got these European bigs versus UConn and Hurley. So I think I don't see it as high scoring as probably the Arizona Michigan game because Arizona Michigan is averaging 89 points a game, which is ridiculous. They're both like right neck and neck averaging. I don't see it as that high scoring of game. I think Connecticut will muck it up, try to at least. Um, I got to go with UConn.
All right, well, Derek, what react to Wes's pick there?
I mean, it's one of those things where like every year you go against you go against Izzo, right, in Michigan State. And that's the same thing with Hurley now. It's like you can't go against the Connecticut. You have to go with UConn here. And then you got to have like, hey, UConn and both men's and women's going to the finals again.
Again, is this another UConn thing? So you're saying UConn's going to win it?
Yeah. Well, I think they're going to make it to the finals.
Yeah.
I'm not
Well,
saying they're
yeah,
winning it,
the
but
Illinois game. We're talking
yes.
Illinois UConn this weekend. That's interesting. It's a really tough game, I think, to call. You want to take UConn here because of what they've done, their history so far in the short period with, Dan Hurley, and just the way they've played this tournament. They haven't won to lose, and they didn't want to lose against Duke, and they stayed in it. But Illinois, man, they got a lot of good players, and their game, this particular game, is going to come back to those two Vitches, right? How those two guys play, Stojakovic and Mirovic, or I probably killed his name there, but those two guys have big games, get a lot of rebounds. Page's son scores a lot, and Illinois has a chance. And so I'm taking Illinois on this one. What do you think about that, Wes?
Yeah, I mean, it's a coin flip to me. Honestly, I didn't watch much of any Illinois game in the tournament. So I don't. I saw some highlights, but the Twins are tough. You know. Yeah, I don't know. I'm taking UConn.
All right, there we go. Two Yukons and an Illinois. All right, Derek will lead us off on Arizona game because I think this is the game of the tournament, I think, so far, but maybe period.
Well, I mean, my bracket has been busted for a while, but the only thing I had left was Arizona making it to the finals. So I got to go with Arizona making it to the finals. They've been the best team all years, and they're still, I think, the best team. So I got Arizona.
So what does Arizona got to do to win this Michigan game? Like, what's their game plan?
Outscore Michigan.
All right, Madden. He's like, so if you score more points than the other team, you win the game.
That's right. That's how you have to do. Uh, well, it all comes, any of these games, this comes down to possessions and making sure you make the most of all your possessions, decrease your turnovers. I have more faith in Arizona than I do Michigan.
Yeah, I mean it's a interesting matchup because I think right now they're two of the hotter teams when you look at them of who could win the championship throughout the tournament. I think you kind of always looked at them two as contenders. Arizona, if
Michigan's
they control
favored.
the yeah, if they can control the ball and they can get into their offense and then speed the game up and down when they want, that's going to be a big key, right? They have to control pace offensively, I think, and not let Michigan have the time of possession. That's where I would put Arizona's key there. Wes, you got any thoughts on Arizona, what they need to do? It's the old mute button. Wes has never been in a teams meeting.
I forgot that. Michigan's just so long, and they got the 7 footers up front. Their wings are 6'5". I mean, they're just so hard to deal with. Inside outside game. They shoot the ball well. Um, I think matching up against Michigan, pace is important, but Arizona can play fast or they can slow it down. But against Michigan, I think they speed it up. You start. You don't want to get into a, a a pushing match with Michigan. I think your only hope is pace, hitting your threes, and getting maybe the bigs in some foul trouble. Right, try to get them off the floor. Oh
That's a good. And then, but Arizona, you don't want to be shooting too many threes, right?
no, no, no.
So what's Michigan got to do?
Just play, you know, the inside out game. Because Arizona's going to crash on the bigs. They kick it out, and they got to hit their shots. They're a decent 3-point shooting team. So get to the foul line. Don't miss your free throws. you know, uh, don't turn the ball over. You start turning the ball over, Arizona's going to kill you. So
I mean, that's not good against anybody, but right, worse against Arizona.
yeah, I mean, Michigan has the physical advantage, and it's not like they can't hit their shots. They can't hit. They can hit threes too, but I mean, they start turning the ball over. They start playing sloppy. They start missing the free throws. I think Arizona wins.
Wes is forgetting the most important thing they need to do.
Score more points.
No, wear their yellow jerseys.
Right. The yellows, remember?
I forgot about that.
They have to
Yeah.
go all yellow.
All yellow.
Baggy shorts.
Baggy shorts, black socks, black shoes.
Okay, all right, Derek. Hold on. I'm muting Wes here. Gotta mute him back and forth. So I know you want Arizona to win, but what does Michigan need to do to win the game?
I mean, Wes said it. You got the bigs. You get Arizona. You get Arizona in foul trouble with using your bigs, right? It slows the pace. They can't run and gun if you're like getting their people. We've said it like with their betting and everything. Foul trouble.
Right.
That skews games in college basketball because it's only, in the foul, a lot more foul outs in college than there are in the pros.
Yeah. It changes their rotations minute wise a lot too. And a lot of teams aren't as deep. You don't have your subs may not be as good. It's like one of the big advantages like a Duke did have is they're pretty deep with talent. both these teams I think are fairly deep, but Michigan can't keep up with Arizona, running the full pace. Arizona will win that game. Michigan, you're right. They have slowed down the bigs. You guys talking about what they need to do offensively. I think defensively, what they need to do is, crash the boards and protect the key and make Arizona a 3-point shooting team, right? With those kind of bigs, you can play an inside out defense and say, okay, Arizona, we're going to settle with the fact that if you're going to beat us with 3-pointers, that's acceptable because that's just not the way they play as a team. And so you got to go against that weakness.
Do you think they're going to go like a 2-3 zone or
I mean, I would. If you want them shooting threes, right? That's kind of the best way to do that. And Arizona's it's not that they're not a horrible 3-point shooting team. They're just used to getting a lot of their points in the paint and in 2-point areas. So I think you have to force them to be a 3-point shooting team. And for that reason, I'm taking Michigan. But like you said, I have them in my bracket. So if they don't go to the championship, then I lose. So I'm the biggest Michigan fan there is right now, but I am excited for this game because I think it's the best game of the tournament. So what's your pick, Derek?
Arizona?
Arizona. Wes, finish it off. What's your pick? But do it in silence.
Arizona.
Arizona. So you guys are both on UConn. I'm on Illinois. You're both on Arizona, and I'm on Michigan. I don't like these odds.
We'll probably get each of us will get one right then, right?
All right. Well, stay tuned next week. We'll hit you back with the next sports segment, follow up on March Madness, and talk about, what we're going to do in the future with NBA playoffs coming up.
Well, since it won't be on before the championship game, who's going to be each of our champions?
For the bracket?
Well, yeah, because we won't meet, so we have to guess who we're going to say is going to be the champion of college basketball, right?
Oh, because we're all out now.
Well, I'm no, I mean, just saying because we won't meet until after the
Oh, yeah, yeah.
championship.
All right. So let's mute Wes real quick for this. So we're going, remember, Wes, you're on mute when we come back. So what we're saying is right now, who's going to win the championship Final Four? So we already picked the games. So I got to pick between Michigan and Illinois. And I am going to take Michigan. So Michigan's going to be the champion. You heard it here first. Well, probably not, but you heard it here at least. All right, Derek, what do you got?
Uh, this one's tough, but I'm going to take Arizona. I think the winner of Michigan Arizona is going to win it.
So you got then Arizona beating UConn.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Okay. Wes, what do you got?
I'm taking Arizona. Duel.
Man, you guys just both picked the same thing tonight.
I think we picked them out of the last
Well,
week too.
Arizona's in our bracket, so
Yeah.
I gotta go with them.
Yeah, West could still win.
Yeah. I mean, my bracket fell apart with Duke. So that ended my hopes at a repeat of last year. But if Michigan does go out and just make it, then I'll still be okay, but not great.
Yeah, West might pull a UConn and come up from behind and take the lead at the end to win it.
No wonder you like Stan Hurley so much. All right, well, you got our picks there. So if if you're following, let us know how you think we did, and watch for the future videos when we get to talk about how well we did or not, because we're now looking back at our current picks. So that'll be fun for next week. All right, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.